My name is Yulia Belov. I'm a product consultant for data and blockchain products. I came from tech side. I started my career as a C++ developer. After that, I became data analyst and like tech lead. Slightly moved to technical product management, project manager, and became a product manager for and change project management to product management. And now more than 7 years, I'm a product manager slash consultant. I worked mostly in international companies and consult startups. Basically, I see different options how companies are organized, product management roles there. And let's start to discuss um, which what product management role is and what the difference are. One sec. Okay. Oh no, too much. Okay. Product manager role. If you take official definition from Cracking the PM Career or another book, it's PM Interviews. It's a professional role responsible for development of products for an organization. PM's own product strategy behind the product, specify its functional requirements, manage features releases, and ultimately in charge of the product outcomes. At the same time, if we look to the history and the boundary theory investigation of product management role, it's 1985, it's quite old. The product management role defined as a boundary role sitting at the intersection of the market and organization. What I can say that, that every product manager is different. Product manager has its core responsibilities, let's call it this way, and also product management communicate and can take parts of different roles in the organization. I put here classical IT organization like tech side. If it's not tech organization could be different ways, especially if it's manufacturer. But let's talk about technical because it's close to my experience and I know more about it and how it's organized there. Quite often organizations split in two parts. One of them, it's let's call it business marketing. Another one, it's more engineering or R&D, research and development. From business side, roles can be different. In general, you have business who is responsible for making partnership, maybe get some rounds of investment, talk with board directors, it's CEO, CPO, it depends on how organization is works on. At the same time, you have marketing or product line managers, it's still marketing. They're responsible for communicating with users, clients, also can be work with partners and do some marketing stuff around products which a company develops. At the same time, you have sales department or probably marketing and sales at the same people. They know what's going on in the field and needs of the particular customers. And it's a very good source of information for product managers. You also can have a growth department. Also growth people, like it could be growth product manager. When product manager and growth functions are the same, depends on. And these people are responsible to see which areas in market and which areas in product can be improved for increase user base, for increase profit, and everything which is relevant to company growth. Finance department, quite often, if product manager doesn't work with finance directly, finance is people who are interested in how product performs. Legal and HR, it's not quite rarely product takes some responsibilities from them, but it's the main stakeholders all the time. And from my perspective, like you should ask about is legal person there in the company before you make agree to an offer, because it's very important that you know what's going on inside and legal boundaries of what's going on with product. If we move to the right side and R&D, mostly you have engineering, which is developers and maybe DevOps, maybe quality assurance engineers. It's mostly how products are developed under the hood. You can have data analytics team, maybe person, maybe a role inside engineering. There are people who are responsible to collecting data for reporting for legals, maybe for business, providing data for marketing, like a lot of different stuff. Operations, here sits delivery managers, maybe project managers, who is responsible that new release is without bugs and delivered on the time. And you see quite often these people helps with roadmaps and milestones delivery and feature delivery. Security part tells by themselves. These people care about all security standards are there, and they communicate quite often with operations and engineering and part with data analysts. Support this team or maybe person is very important for product managers because it's another source of information for us. And at the same time, they communicate directly with users and partly with engineering, and they see some problems which is not obvious for everybody. Design team tells by themselves, people responsible for UX and UI. It's user experience and user interfaces. By the way, if you have questions, you can write in chat and I will answer in details. Okay, if we are talking about product manager role and personal involvement in some activities, you can be an individual contributor. Quite often it's a core product manager's responsibilities, like working with roadmaps, write product requirements documents, maybe do some research and users, like market research, user research, depends on the organization. These can be different. At the same time, product managers can work with team or team members and be their manager. And this team work for product manager. For example, data analyst, quite often you can see data analyst in product management team. Or this product manager can work as a stakeholder for a resource, for external one. Quite often product manager role is outside R&D, and you go to R&D to ask for some feature development and maybe for some help, or it could be not on their R&D side, it could be also marketing, finance, or legal, and you ask for their time and resources. And depends on the company and market, each PM role is different. And when you see, you can, maybe if you already look at the market, you can see that description and what is required, it's quite different from role to role. And for example, in the United States, quite often product manager role and program manager role means almost the same. Even product management title comes from Project Management Institute. It's some sort of relevant to project management. But naming, you should take a look of responsibilities, what is there. Okay, let's go to main areas where product management works with which. When you join, maybe it's already there, but what you work on, it's set product goals and define success, basically metrics. What you want to see after a feature is developed, like maybe more users, maybe more profit, like more purchases, depends on the product. You can hear terms like North Star metric. It's basically the main metric of organization. And also here, like if you do research about product management metrics, you would see that these metrics are different, like RPU, like active revenue per user, like active users per month, and it's a list. And there are even maps of these metrics, which is important to at least keep in mind when you work with some products, with all products, basically. At the same time, product managers own a product roadmap, vision, and strategy. What does it mean? That you, as a person who is responsible for product, should see uh, what you want from this product, or maybe as you're a new joiner to a part of the product, like in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, depends on. And this vision and roadmap and strategy should be fit in company vision, roadmap, and strategy, because when you develop a big products, especially, and all these things should be aligned. Specify product requirements. It's quite often write a the product requirements document. You as a product manager is responsible for user experience. You can see like, okay, I want my user to go from this step to this step to this step. Or maybe even write, if it's a more technical part of the product, you will write some sort of technical requirements. For example, this endpoint should should answer and keep like 1 million simultaneous requests, for example. No, project management, it's a question. Project manager and product manager, it's not the same thing. It's absolutely different. Think about project management as a operational person, and it's different organizational structure. Project management came from Project Management Institute, it's PMI, and you can read the roles. It's basically 14 areas where this person is responsible for. And basically it's more operational role than visionary role as product manager is. You can also hear product owner. It's not like product manager, but close. It's from Scrum methodology, Scrum framework, and Agile, but it's a bit different. Product manager is more faced to external, but product owner, it's a bit more internal and work closely with tech teams. There were, if I don't forget, I will send a picture in chat in Discord. Okay, going further here, specify product requirements. I covered coordinate work done by other functions. Quite often, as I said, product manager is a stakeholder, and to get a result from time to time, you need to coordinate work from different departments. For example, if you need to update user agreement, you have to go to legal and ask them to provide you a user agreement document, like from legal side. You should go to design department or design team, design person, ask them to put it nicely and that it's fit in whole UI and design decision in the product. And at the same time, you should go to developers and ask them to put it there. And you, as a product manager, from time to time, you should be sure that all these steps are done and in right order. Utilize product market data. Quite often, product managers should be aware what's going on in the market and for the particular area where they work for. For example, as in the beginning, I said that I'm a product manager for data and blockchain products. It means that I know not only how it works, but also industry standards, what's going on in the market right now, like which technologies are used by different blockchain, which requirements for data is a standard for industry, and also, for example, legal part of it, like you have to be compliant for GDPR, CCPA, and other legislation. And everything it's it fit for utilize product and market data. And maybe one of the important stuff, and I put it last, it's be a user advocate. You all the time should be able to put yourself as a user who doesn't know about this product at all, and be able to take a look, a fresh look for your product and use it as a user who doesn't know anything underneath. And for this, from time to time, it's useful to get somebody from your circle, from your friends, to say like, try to install it and use it, and I will see how you use it. Uh, for this approach, you will all the time be aware how people use it, what's problems they have. You can go and ask, like user research, maybe go through support to marketing to sales department, ask them about needs. But at the same time, you should be a user for your product all the time. And it's one of the most important things we should remember, that product manager, it's all the time as a user and voice of the user or customer for their product. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Oh, nope, sorry. This one. Possible other areas. As I mentioned a couple of slides ago, like product manager for every organization is different. And you can see I put here some departments, maybe teams, where product manager can take a part of responsibility. For example, from marketing and growth, quite often it's the main area where product managers takes part of the responsibilities and part of the role. It's product manager can create a go-to-market strategy, like manage all these events, manage campaigns, analyze industry reports. For some industries, you have like reports and companies subscribe to it. Conduct user research, build growth models. Like, okay, now we have like 1,000 users and we want to have 1 million users. What we need to do for that? And even if you take a look for different organizations which provide product management certifications, from my personal opinion, it doesn't work to go through it. It's not a standard right now in the industry, but it's useful to see what content they provide. And quite often, product manager and product marketing manager, they go together. That's why you see like a lot of responsibilities are close in these two roles. From business, finance, and sales, it could be business development, because from time to time, product managers are responsible for money flow, like finance flow. They can also manage partners, and it's also called like product line managers. They're responsible for partners and particular line of the product. Maybe manage budgets, as I mentioned, because you're responsible for feature development, for team cost, how much resources team spend for developing a feature, and maybe even own finance performance. Like you can commit for, okay, I want to develop feature X, which increase company's income for that person. If we are talking about the next, it's engineering. From time to time, especially technical product managers, they can help with design architecture, at least to see the potential load, like potential integrations with partners or maybe with different products. And they help data architects to design architecture. Maybe if it's a startup, it could be the same person, but quite rarely, I would say. Definitely product managers do review for features as a user, like you're a user advocate, you should use the feature which you develop and see how it's going on. Maybe review documentation, review, like it's not like pull request review for code, but review a feature itself. And quite often product managers prepare integrations. Like you have to be sure that everything clean on legal side, that everybody's ready to integration, that all requirements are there from both sides, and coordinate this effort. It's close to operation, because from time to time, product management are responsible for defining process, maybe even manage delivery, which I can do, but I think it's a bit different roles, and it's different. Even companies try to say, okay, you're a product manager, you're responsible for delivery results, please manage delivery. It's not all the time what product manager should do, but depends on your preferences. Manage timelines. Yeah, like you have to be aware when a particular feature goes to production. For data analytics, analyze data and metrics and provide reports. this part very often product managers do all the time. Even if you're not a data product manager, you can use you should use available metrics and to see how your feature performs. Maybe you request these metrics from data analytics department, data analytics team, and you have to be data-oriented person in terms of you should put numbers first to see which feature should be developed in the first with higher priority, which improvement we should do, and everything should be based on data. And even how users are behave, it's UX UI metrics. They're still metrics and still data, and you could see and hear name like funnels, and basically how users go from screen to screen. And if in some steps we lose a user, we should take care about this screen and see what's wrong there, because quite often something is not clear for users and they just drop and say nothing. For design, you could be a person who create UX prototypes because you are aware what you expect from users and what you want to provide to users. Create users flows. Yeah, it's the same, but from my experience, I mostly communicate with design teams. Even I created user prototypes. Like it's to keep in mind, it's a good area where you should be aware of. For HR team, for HR, you as a person depends on organization again. You can manage teams. Maybe you have your own product people teams. Maybe you have like developers team under you. Depends on organization. It's really how organization work. But you should be prepared for manage people. Maybe a bit later, not in the beginning of career, and hire people and be responsible for people growth. For support, it's mostly analyzing feedbacks and then analyzing logs from time to time if it's more technical role. Okay. I will finish then after that answer to questions. Basically, what you should be aware of, you as a person who works with product, you should understand how business we should choose work. For example, e-commerce is differ. For example, with, I don't know, e-commerce, like advertising, maybe hardware manufacturer, it's different areas in business and they earn money differently and they operate differently. For example, ads or e-commerce, like span could be like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of releases. And if we take blockchain, it takes much longer. It could be like 1-2 months to release a new feature. And based on it, it's you should be aware how industry we should choose works and which standards are there. If you want to work, I don't know, for like crypto wallets, it's like recent example. You should be aware which wallets are on the market, which functionality they provide, how they operate. Maybe you should install some of them and use by yourself. And it's a research which you should do if you're a product manager of particular area. To know your customers and their needs, it's main responsibility of the product. You should be aware what people use, what strengths are, and what you can offer to people, to customers, to users in your product. Know product management processes. It's basically what you should do. For example, write the product requirements document. Before it, you should talk to stakeholders, go to users, prepare some maybe sketches of your new pages. Depends on. For basic product delivery life cycle, it's a bit technical, but you should be aware of what it takes for create a feature and see this feature in production. For example, if you take a new interface, you should go through designer department, maybe legal and security, maybe support to ask their feedback, to go to the technical department to ask them to develop, and go to QA, go to DevOps, and this line is product development lifecycle, and also product development lifecycle itself. It's different phases of the product, like a new product from sunrise to sunset of a product. You should be able to work with data. Maybe Python is the best language to use here, and SQL too. Like at least the basic knowledge is it's good to have. And at the same time, you should be aware of HR and legal processes. You as a person who is responsible for product should be aware that everything is legally clear there, and you should be aware how it works in their side. Okay, thank you. I will take a look at questions, and if you have questions, just say or write, and I will try to answer. Certification for product management. They're available. You can see different one. I don't remember right now the name. Sorry, I will try maybe to find this and send. But what I can see, it's not something which worth to spend money there, because they're quite expensive, and at the same time, I wouldn't say that it's really worth it. From my perspective, you can go to product owner certification from Scrum. It's useful because on the market, there are a lot of people who ask for that and companies who ask for that. And maybe to go to some courses and see their syllabus and what they are going to talk about, and just read it in articles or maybe even wiki if it's necessary. Okay, let's know about new products. Mainly standard. Oh, okay. The question: almost everyone gets to know about new products through social media, so the marketing of products is mainly standard strategized to be done on social media these days, or are there any other marketing methods that are likely more effective and scalable on a large scale? It's a good question. What I can see from Web3 area, yeah, quite often it's Twitter or maybe Instagram, depends on. Different marketing methods. I would say it really depends on business, because if it's business like B2C, like business to customer, it's quite often social media. But if it's B2B, it's mostly conferences, special events. For example, in Wi-Fi, you have different events which target especially this area, like Wi-Fi manufacturing. For semiconductors, it's different conferences. Like, yeah, it's partly social, partly special events. Depends on. B2C, it's one area, B2B is different area. From time to time, even B2B2C, it could be both ways. You're welcome. Is there any other questions? By the way, I will join Discord and I'm there, but I'm not sure like you can find me easily. And you can ask me there if you remember something. Okay, I see a lot of another question. I see a lot of Web3 companies organizing hackathons, events where they tell participants to use their products to build something. Yeah, it's not only Web3, it's practice from like, I don't know, 10 or even more years. When I was Python team lead, I participated in like meetups and hackathons to get people in to the company and to the product. Yeah, it's not only Web3, it's all companies use hackathons because it's two main goals: increase user base and some sort of advertising of the product. Web3 is a good example. Can you describe what is the usual work days? Yeah, work day for me is a product manager. I meet with team, or like it's daily. It's partly maybe from Scrum, but I really like to have like short calls because it's right now it's remote work. Because I have two teams right now. I have 2 dailies per day. Maybe there are some meetings for stakeholders, or if I have a feature, for example, right now I have three big initiatives in development. Like I have to prepare documentation for that. I have to talk with people who involved, like different teams, maybe different stakeholders, and organize how it looks like. In general, I would say I have from 3 to 5 hours per day of calls, different one, like with team, with particular stakeholders, with um, other departments. And rest of the time, I'm take care about roadmap. I take care about like current implementation, write documentation, coordinate effort from different teams, like in writing, not talking. Yeah, but you have to be aware that product role is different for each company. For example, here I try to spend at least 30 minutes per day to check data into resource like in data infrastructure, which we have. And right now we use like Google Analytics and also Mixpanel Analytics and see how it performs. Depends again of the company. For one of my previous position, I mostly did market and user research. That means I analyze products, put everything in one table, see trends, read special reports, and work mostly with documentation than with teams and coordinating effort. And you as a person who wants to be a product manager should think what is more what you like to do, and depends on it. You should see how companies operate when you're joining and you're interviewing. You should ask questions to like, what is my day will look like, with whom I in general communicate. Because for me, like I came from tech, and I like to work with tech teams and tech functionality. Like blockchain layer one is like quite low, and you have to understand a lot of process under the hood. Some people opposite, they like to go to the field and do like customer interviews. It's a bit different activities. Depends on every role is different in every organization, and from time to time you work like, okay, I'm product manager here, I'm product manager there, I like this position, and you join a company which you don't like, and you like spend your day in the office and like it's hosted after that, and you think what's going on, and you realize that the function which you fit in this organization, it's absolutely different which you like to do. Like for this one you should be aware too. Okay. Any other questions? You are welcome. Yeah, all the time you can find me in Discord and ask questions there. Oh, sure. I will wait for another question. Yeah, yeah. Um, is it common for ideas to clash with other team members? For instance, when you propose something and another members pitch something entirely opposite, how do you resolve such conflicts? It's not a conflict, it's different opinion. You basically take two ideas and see advantages and disadvantages for each of them. Like it's not only like idea itself, it's also technical realization. It's how much money you spend, how this feature fits to your product. Like basically you do pros and cons for each of them and discuss it. Like it's yeah. Like that's why I said you have to be a friend to data, because everything based on data, and it's much easier to talk with people if you have something behind. It's not like, okay, I'm a product manager, you're like a technical compromised. Yeah, some sort of, you all the time try to talk to people. Like product manager role, it's a communicator. You should be like, you cannot say, okay, I'm a manager and you're an employee, that's why I said it's good. No, you all the time listen carefully which people suggest, try to find the rationale there, and do comparison between features. From time to time, um, uh, it happened because it's basically experience, and that's why all of us tend to pick an area which we like. I love work with data, and that's why I go to data and to blockchain. Some people like to work with advertising and marketing, and they work there. Basically, you from okay, from my 15 years in industry, I would advise you to see what you like in terms of area. Try to maybe different areas and see what you definitely like and what you don't like. For example, I don't work with e-commerce and ads because it's not something I like to work with, and pick based on it. Okay, any other questions? Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And if you have, or people who who watch it in the recording, if you have questions, just ping me and I will try to answer.